listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello and welcome to Six Figure Dog Business on Pet Life Radio. I am your host, Ty Brown of SixFigureDogBusiness.com. Now, this is the show where we teach you how to start or grow your dog-related business to a healthy six-figure per year profit. Now, today on the show, I'm really excited. We've got a literal business mogul with us. We're going to be speaking with Heidi Ganahl. And so after the break, stay with us. We're going to have an amazing interview and get some great information for how you guys can improve your businesses or even grow your businesses. So stay right with us.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
It's time for school for you and your friends, your furry best friends. Train your dog the fun and easy way with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Teacher's Pet host Pia Silvani teaches you step-by-step how to train your dog the fun and easy way. You get 8 30-minute live audio training sessions, complete transcripts of each session, plus a basic training manual to get you and your dog off to a great start. Training begins the moment you bring your dog home. Teacher's Pet Sessions offers positive reinforcement training to shape your dog's behavior and encourages upbeat, enthusiastic responses to ensure that your dog will enjoy learning. Teacher's Pet Sessions dog training is fun at both ends of the leash. So listen, learn, and laugh with your dog with Teacher's Pet Sessions. Get your copy of Teacher's Pet Sessions Volume 1 today. To order, go to teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, this is Pia Silvani, your host. Bring your dog, tug toy, and treats, and get ready to have some fun.
teacherspetsessions.com.
Hi, and welcome to The Family Pet on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Colleen Safford. Each week, we'll focus on different topics: child pet safety, child pet training, just how to make an appropriate pet selection for your family. All of these things will be covered in each one of our episodes. So we hope that you will join us at The Family Pet on Pet Life Radio.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com. Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Okay, and we're back, and with us today we have entrepreneur Heidi Ganahl with us. Welcome to the call, Heidi. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you. It's great to be on here.
Well, a lot of people may know you because you've written a book. You've got Tales from the Bark Side, My Journey from Wayward Stray to Top Dog. So a lot of people might know you, but for those that don't know you, who are you? What is your company? What do you do?
Well, I founded Camp Bow Wow, the country's largest doggy day and overnight care franchise, or actually pet care franchise in the nation. And we actually have 108 camps open nationwide and even one in Canada.
Wow.
And we also have another franchise called Home Buddies by Camp Bow Wow, which is in-home pet care that we launched last year. And we're launching a third franchise called Bow Wow Behavior Buddies, which is a dog training franchise next April.
Oh, cool. Okay. And so those two franchises, those new ones, was part of the reason why I wanted you on the show. Because a lot of our listeners, I get a lot of emails from consulting clients that I work with or just listeners of this show, and they're wanting to get started, but they don't have a lot of money to get started thanks to the economic climate, and so they're looking for different ways to get started in the business. So coming up on the show, I want to talk to you about that. I want to get a feel for what people can do to get started with one of your franchises or tips that are already working for your franchisees. But before that, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into this business, about how you started the country's largest pet care franchise. What was your track?
Well, it was actually my own dogs that helped me think of the business idea. I had 3 big dogs, 3 big mutts that were rescues, and my husband and I at the time traveled a lot and were young and really active and out doing stuff all the time, and we abused our family and friends to the point that they were like, you got to figure something else out to take care of your animals while you're gone. And we started looking at what was out there in the traditional kennels and traditional vet clinics that you could take your dogs to, and they were horrible. And we would never consider leaving our dogs in a little box or in a traditional kind of dirty, dark kennel. And so we thought there's got to be a better way. And Doggie Daycare had just started to come on the scene. This was back in 93, 94. And we thought the idea was great, but we took it and evolved it to make it more of a fun place, like a camp kind of place. And with the mountain lodge pole fencing and the look and feel of a mountain lodge, and then also a place where a dog could be a dog and just run around, have fun with their friends, but still be safe and still have a nice quiet place to sleep at night away from their folks, and a place that clients wouldn't feel guilty about leaving their dogs. So the Camp Bow Wow idea was born, and about 6 months after that, we were looking for a facility to start our first one, and my husband was killed in a plane crash. And obviously my life changed tremendously, and the business plan got shelved, and I eventually went back into pharmaceutical sales, which is what I'd been doing before, until about 6 years later when my brother came to me and said, I think you need to really focus on what you're passionate about, and that passion is Camp Bow Wow. Let's dust off the old business plan and see if we can't make it work. And that's when we started the first camp in December of 2000.
December of 2000. So here, almost 10 years later, and you guys have grown to how many did you say, 109?
Well, we sold about 200 franchises, but 108 of those are actually open right now. The rest are in their opening process, like going through site search and zoning and all that fun stuff. And then we've also awarded 65 Home Buddies territories.
Okay, and that's one thing I definitely wanted to talk with you about is Home Buddies, because when you and I were communicating back and forth in email, I saw the little logo on the bottom of your email that said Home Buddies, and so I did some research and clicked on what it was, and I think this is a great idea. And so what is Home Buddies?
Well, Home Buddies was the natural transition from having the camp franchises. A lot of our clients have cats or other animals at home, or their dogs would get to the age where they didn't necessarily like playing all day. They just wanted to sit in a sunny window and stay at home. So that, coupled with the recession hitting in 2008 and the banking industry just freezing up and SBA loans freezing up, really created a need for people that wanted to start their own pet business but couldn't get qualified for a loan to do a camp, which is upwards of $400,000 or $500,000 to start. So we created Home Buddies, which is in-home pet care, and there aren't a lot of options as far as standardization or other companies that really have very solid rules and regulations about how their operators work. And there's tons of great mom and pops out there, but a lot of mom and pops want some backup. They want to be part of a bigger family and want the marketing support and the operations support. And so we thought this would be a great opportunity to provide that with Home Buddies and allow either existing pet sitters and dog walkers and poop scoopers to join our family, or new people that wanted to get into the business do it without having to reinvent the wheel and figure out how to do it on their own.
Okay, so for somebody listening to this, because we have a lot of pet sitters that listen to this show, for a pet sitter that's listening to this and maybe not getting the results they're looking for income-wise or lifestyle-wise, they could come aboard. Would they have to change their name? Would they have to do a lot of different things, or what would they have to do to come aboard with you guys?
Well, they would have to use the Home Buddies name, but they could certainly still use all the pet sitters that they utilize right now and still, run their business the way they've been running it. We would just ask that they provide all the services that we offer, which are typically provided by the pet sitters anyway, which is in-home pet care and the dog walking, some concierge services when they find that necessary, and then the poop scoop services. We find that financially it's really beneficial to offer all of those services, not just focus on one thing, because most of the clients want the same things out there, and they want that group of services all together, not from different people, but from one service and one company, which Home Buddies would provide. And then they would get all the support of the website, which we get about 200,000 people, unique people visiting our website a month. So they'd have lots of referrals and lots of camaraderie and the ability to work with other people in their market and to tap into the Camp Bow Wow clients locally in their market.
Okay. Well, let me ask you about that then, because, obviously this show is about helping people market. So let's say somebody wanted to come aboard or didn't even want to come aboard with you guys. What are some marketing techniques that you guys use as far as being a pet sitter? What are some mainstays that, okay, we do this, we do this, we do this? What are a couple things that you'd feel comfortable sharing with us?
Well, there's certainly a theme among what works and what doesn't, whether it's a Camp Bow Wow or a Home Buddies, and that's really getting embedded in your community and becoming the expert in dogs or cats or pets in general in your community, being a resource for reporters and different media outlets, Also getting to know all the dog lovers and animal lovers in your community by visiting the dog parks and the veterinarians. It's really about grassroots marketing. And the more you're out there, the more well-known your name is, the more people get to know you and your company and your brand and build a relationship, the more word-of-mouth referrals you're going to get and the more support you're going to get from the folks that own pets in your community. And one thing that's always been very important to Camp Bow Wow and Home Buddies is cause-based marketing, which is aligning with local rescues, local dog charities or pet charities, and really working with them to give back too from your business and figuring out a way to, help the animals that can't afford to have a great home or, need help medically while still building a great business. And customers really tend to love doing business with companies that give back.
And that's a good point. And maybe you can give us a tip or two. How does somebody do that? Because in my years of being in this industry, I have seen certain companies, maybe it's a one-person company, but their business can suffer because they're doing so much rescue work or because they're doing so much. How do you teach people how to draw that line, and how do you teach people how to say, okay, at the end of the day, this is how I pay the mortgage and feed the kids? What's a good balancing act there?
Well, it's certainly a balancing act, that's for sure. And the best way to do it is to find ways you can help that help the charities or the dogs or the animals and help your business. It may be holding an event, and at that event, you're going to garner new customers coming in for the charity cause, but they're also potential clients for your business. And you've got to figure out a way to follow up with them or to collect their contact information so that you can follow up and offer them a business proposition as well. Mm-hmm. Another idea might be, if you're going to volunteer your time at a shelter, when the dogs get adopted, give them a coupon to use, one free dog walk or one free night of pet sitting or a percentage discount off of future pet sitting, so that you're making a deal with the shelter that, yes, I'm going to volunteer my time and give you my energy and some money, if I'm going to get donations, et cetera. But in return, I want you to give me, potential business and potential clients.
Okay, and there's ways to do that without sounding, like you're trying to be greedy and trying to take advantage of the nonprofit organization?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the nonprofits know that, you've got to stay in business in order to keep helping them. And it's an all scratch your back, you scratch mine situation. And certainly there's a way to communicate it effectively so that you don't sound, like, oh, I'm just doing this so that I can get new business. But really, the experience happens when they see you work and they see you help them and they see the efforts that you put forth. Then they feel better about helping you with your business and growing your business.
Well, and it's like what you alluded to with networking, and that's all networking is one person providing value to another, and this person providing value. And if you can provide value, people want to send you referrals. Whether it's working with your existing clients or whether it's working, like you're mentioning here, with rescue organizations or nonprofit organizations. As long as you're out there just giving, it tends to come back a little bit better than you gave. It seems, right?
Absolutely, you got it.
Okay. And so this is great. So if somebody is interested in adding this, could somebody add this to, let's say somebody owns a boarding kennel or something like that, could they add this service to that, or would it have to be a Camp Bow Wow facility adding it to their services?
Well, it depends on the situation and if there's a Camp Bow Wow in that market, so they should certainly reach out to us and we can talk about it. But in most cases, it's a traditional pet sitter or what we call mom and pop pet sitter or dog walker that really wants to be part of a bigger organization that will come on board with us. Or if they own an existing kennel, they can even convert their kennel into a Camp Bow Wow if it works out correctly too.
Oh,
okay. It's not half as expensive as opening a new one. So.
Oh, great. Excellent. Okay. I did not know that. That's cool. And so, I don't want to get into more details because that's something I'm sure you'd want to talk with people about. So how can somebody find out more information about, this opportunity?
Well, they can just go to campbowwow.com, and at the top of the bar, I think there's a link that says Own Your Own Pet Business. And if you click there, it actually takes you to a process where you just enter some contact information, and you can view a series of videos that are more and more in-depth about the business and receive information through the mail about franchising with us. Okay.
Well, excellent. So now you guys have another service coming out, and you mentioned it earlier. What is this new, the other franchise called?
The new dog training franchise is Bow Wow Behavior Buddies. And
Bow Wow Behavior Buddies.
To start out this year, it will just be for existing Home Buddies or Camp Bow Wow franchisees. But if somebody wants to do Bow Wow Behavior Buddies, they can certainly sign up as a Home Buddies franchisee and offer the pet sitting, the dog walking, all those services, as well as the Bow Wow Behavior Buddies dog training service. And then as of next April 1st, it will be available as a separate franchise. So you can pick, just to do a Bow Wow Behavior Buddies if you want to.
Excellent. Okay. And I want to get some more information on you about that. But not only that, I want to get some more information for marketing for, people that are doing dog training right now, people that are looking into getting started with dog training. I want to pick your brain on what is working for you guys and how you guys are able to be so successful. So stay with us. We're going to go to a break right now. When we come back, we're going to get some more information from Heidi Ganahl about how to market, whether it's a pet sitting business or a dog training business or even a pet care facility like a daycare. So stay right with us. We'll be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back after a short pause.
Greetings, human. What planet am I on?
Welcome to Pet Planet. Here's a copy of Pet Planet Magazine, Florida's most informative and fun pet resource magazine. It features heartwarming stories and informative articles from local and national pet experts.
Excellent.
Pet Planet Magazine offers Operation Planet Rescue, helping rescued pets find new homes. And it's available at 500 locations in South and Central Florida and 24/7 on the internet at petplanetmagazine.com. If you're out and about with your pet, you may be featured in Paparazzi, candid pictures of you and your pet. For up-to-date pet-friendly events, activities, and pet-related services and products, Pet Planet Magazine is your final destination.
I shall take this magazine home with me.
Back to your home planet?
No, to my condo in Boca.
Pet Planet Magazine. Check them out at www.petplanetmagazine.com or 352-394-8578. It's out of this world.
Got questions about your hound's health? Need the facts on Fido's fitness or food? You want to unleash your pup's potential? Well, you've come to the right place with Win with Dogs. Here, we learn how easy it is to naturally improve the lives of our furry friends. So sit, stay, and get ready to win with dogs. With me, Raquel Wynn. Exercise, nutrition, interaction, and love make for one healthy, happy hound. Give yourself the gift of knowledge on demand every week right here at Pet Life Radio with me, Raquel Wynn, and Win with Dogs.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Okay, and we're back, and in our last break, we were talking with Heidi Ganahl, the founder and president and CEO of Camp Bow Wow. Now, Camp Bow Wow, it seems to me, is starting to take over the world as far as dog stuff goes. You guys started out with facilities for boarding, daycare, things like that, and now you guys are expanding out into pet sitting, and you are also expanding into dog training. And so we talked a little bit about that in our last break, but I want to talk a little bit more. Now, you mentioned that not anyone right now can become a franchisee. They'll either have to team up with an existing location or wait until next April. Is that the case?
That's right. Or they can purchase a Home Buddies franchise, which is pretty inexpensive, and it would be a great way to really ensure their financial success if you're doing the in-home pet care and the dog walking and the poop scooping and offering the dog training as well.
Okay. Now, what kind of marketing philosophy do you guys use with your training services? Are you looking for like this synergistic blend of, people come into Camp Bow Wow and now we're referring them to the training? Are there other things outside of the Camp Bow Wow name that you guys are using to build the training business? What is going to work to build this business?
Well, it's a combination of everything you talked about and more. It's basically our Camp Bow Wows get requests a lot for, who's a great dog trainer I can use, or my dog's been misbehaving at home. He's great at camp, but we really need some help. And so it's absolutely that referral business from the camp base, which, we have about 200,000 clients around the country at the camps alone that we'll tap into for the Bow Wow Behavior Buddies dog training. But also, we are all about, like I talked about, the community. And part of a neat project that we're doing with the new Bow Wow Behavior Buddies program is a program called the On Our Way Home Project. And we're basically having these folks, the Bow Wow Behavior Buddies, go out into the communities and work with local shelters and rescues to teach them how to integrate play into their environments, to increase adoption rates and to decrease euthanasia rates. And so that's one way that we've used cause-based marketing and really getting involved in the local rescue and local shelter community to build our business. Because those dogs also that get adopted or are better off being adopted because they've been able to play now in the shelters are going to be potential clients once they get out and get adopted. And then we have coupons that we offer and programs, discounted programs that we offer to those dogs that are rescued or adopted in the local communities, and that seems to be working very well.
Excellent. Now, one thing you mentioned earlier when we were talking about the pet sitting, you mentioned something about public relations, about getting press. What kind of tips? Because I assume with the dog training, if somebody comes on as a dog trainer with your company and is looking to offer that service in a new community, I assume that one of the first things you're going to teach them is how to get free press, correct?
Absolutely. That's been a core of Camp Bow Wow's growth over the last 10 years. In fact, a big turning point for us was back in 2005. We'd only been franchising a little over a year, and we were featured just out of the blue on the cover of America Online as one of the next great franchises. And It was so crazy. I mean, the phone just started ringing off the hook. I think we got just several thousand leads off of that one day.
Wow.
And all that happened to create that was I sat next to this gal at lunch that was writing a small article for Business Week Online about franchising and women in franchising. She put the article on the internet, and AOL picked it up. So it's really about just getting as much information about you and your business out there, whether it's the internet or the local community, the local newspapers, local radio stations. Offer to be an expert, offer to be the person that they tap into when they need tips on animals. There's almost an overwhelming opportunity out there to get your name out and the word out now that the internet's there as well. So that's a key part of growing the business. And really, you could sit at home all day just generating new leads by working on having a blog and Twittering and Facebooking and being a local expert.
Exactly. Now, I know somebody listening to this, that's just a one-person operating company is listening to this and they're saying, oh, well, that's great for you, Heidi. I mean, at the time you had a multi-million-dollar business, you had several locations. That's great for you to sit down with a reporter and what can you recommend to somebody like that? I mean, is there a difference? Is there a difference between the one-person operator versus a large company? Can anybody get free press?
Well, and actually at that time, we only had 2 or 3 locations. And we were just, a small mom-and-pop Doggie Daycare franchise just starting out. And so I think it's really about networking and really about putting yourself out there, making the time to go to networking events, making the time to go to industry events, and really becoming an expert in one area. I mean, pick one thing that you are really good at and very knowledgeable about and be the expert at that one thing, whether it's, positive reinforcement training or whether it's working with dogs that, bully breeds or, there's all kinds of niche things you can do in the dog training world and in the pet industry, period. And there's plenty of room, plenty of opportunity for folks to become an expert in any area they want to.
Excellent. So now we've talked a lot during this interview, and you've given us a ton of great tips for how to network, how to get free press, using social media and things like that. What would you say are some big mistakes to avoid? We've talked a lot about what we should be doing, to build a business and what you guys do to have built your empire. But what should business owners be avoiding in order to grow their business?
Well, one thing I think people get caught up in is the competition and the number of people out there. I mean, there are a ton of pet sitters in each community. But really, it's about you doing your best and treating every client the best way possible so they talk about you and spread word of mouth. There could be 100 other pet sitters, but if you can get enough clients to make your business viable, that's all that really matters. And in order to do that, it's like the golden rule, treat other people as you would be treated. And I think that's a very important theme in business and will get you everywhere when it comes to client referrals. But I believe if you just stay focused and have very short-term, realistic goals that lead to your bigger goal, it's much simpler to tackle it that way than to think, oh my goodness, there's already 500 people in the Denver metro area offering pet sitting. Why on earth is somebody going to pick me? Well, you start with your own network and your own group, and you go from there, and it's much more manageable that way.
Well, and that brings up a good point and a good topic because you operating a nationwide franchise, you have hundreds of different personalities that own businesses. Is that something that you teach people to do? Do you teach people, okay, well, you happen to be good at this, let's focus your business around that using our branding? Is that something you do, or is everyone kind of expected to, do things the way home office does it? How do you guys operate that?
Well, there are certain restrictions and certain standards that we follow, but all that is based on what's worked and what's been successful out in the field. And if people want to try their own things and do their own things, we're all for that, as long as it's not jeopardizing their current business or the brand. And that means, the safety of the dogs, the logo. You can't, mess with the logo, certain trademarkable, branding items. But really, that's how we've grown into such an incredible business, is all the people that franchise with us and all the ideas they bring together. That's 200 minds together are much better than one. And that's, I think, the power of franchising.
That's excellent. When I'm working with consulting clients, one thing we talk about a lot is USP, unique selling proposition. And, finding what's unique about you and putting that into your business and what makes you better than, like you mentioned, there's 200 other places in my community that they can get this. What's better about me? What's unique about me? And it seems like you guys really instill that in your business owners.
That's right. It's very important. And what we tell people, too, is do what you are best at and don't be afraid to hire out or outsource what you're not good at. I mean, I'm the first one to admit I'm the marketing brand girl, sales girl. I am not the best at operations, accounting, bookkeeping, HR stuff. And so I found firms to really help me and supplement my business by handling that, or those were the first hires I made. And as I grew the business, that's where I focus my energies on, is what I'm good at. And I've had to learn to let go of the things that I'm not.
Excellent, excellent. Now, before I let you go, I just want to get a little bit more information about your book. I saw in your bio that you have a book out. What's the story on this book?
Sure. It's called Tales from the Bark Side, and it's a little bit a story of the building of Camp Bow Wow, so there's some great stories there around that. But it's also about the things that I did right or wrong in starting a business, and just really looking at how people can prevent making a lot of the same mistakes. And there's a lot of resources in there and different things that I didn't know when I started out that I wish I would have known.
Excellent, excellent. And so there's some good, like I say, I always skew everything through a marketing, through a marketing lens. There's some good marketing information here that people could pick up if they read your book?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, my love is marketing and my passion is teaching people how to build their businesses. And that's really what the book focuses on, is that, what can I be doing differently? What haven't I thought of? What's unique to my business and how I can market it, or like you talk about, having a unique proposition. So it's very focused on marketing and building your own business. And if you haven't already started a business, how do you even get off the ground, and what are the first steps you take?
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on this call. Like I say, I think you provided a goldmine of information for people here. Not often does somebody have the opportunity to listen to somebody who's built such a large business as yourself. And so I think as people see what you've done, they can say, okay, I can do that. Oh, I can do that with public relations. Oh, I can do that in network in my community. And so they can take a lot of what has worked on a macro scale and apply it to their own business. So before I let you go, again, just one more time, if somebody is interested in the dog training franchise, the pet sitting franchise, Camp Bow Wow, where do they go to get that information?
CampBowWow.com is the best place, and our website is a tremendous source of information, whether it's just learning more about your dog or watching the webcams and watching the dogs play, which is very addicting, by the way, or learning more about franchising with Home Buddies or Camp Bow Wow.
Well, excellent. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, thank you. You've got a wonderful business going here, and I'm really excited to be part of it.
Well, thank you. And so for those of you listening, for all you dog sitters, dog trainers, pet walkers, and kennel owners, all of you out there, thanks for being on the show today. I hope you've got some great information from our interview. And if you have questions or comments or ideas for my show, just email me at ty@petliferadio.com or visit my website, sixfiguredogbusiness.com. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.